You ready for a post-game show? Ready to break it all down?
Blazers?
Fundamental standpoint?
Blazers.
2-2 on the year. Back-to-back in L.A.
Mm-hmm.
We all bet it. We didn't Sprague the line on it, but we should have. We all bet it.
Why didn't we?
No Luka, no LeBron.
Yeah.
Austin Reeves, go off for as many as you want. We don't care. In Portland, look, it kind of went exactly how I thought it was going to go. LA's shorthanded. They don't have a lot of available bodies. Bronny's in the rotation. That tells you all you need to know.
Mm-hmm.
And Portland handled business in the second of a back-to-back in LA. What do we take away from the win last night?
Jrue Holiday was an adult when they needed an adult to kind of settle things at different random moments. Not
He was
that
really
this
good last night.
Game was in jeopardy, but they had like little spurts, and then he would kind of calm the waters. I loved what Donovan did. Like, Donovan took that game, I think, a little personal with DeAndre. Jeremy continues to have a great year. This is my stance. I know the whole Jeremy Shaden thing was a big deal going into the year, right? Start, sit, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
I just, despite Shaden's shooting performance this season, which is off to a horrendous start.
He also got screwed. Did we ever find out why they took that 1-3 off the board?
No.
There's no explanation on that?
No
They never followed up.
They just came back and were like, that 3 didn't count.
Yep.
Like, wait, what?
Yep. That was it.
Huh?
So he could have had a 3 if they counted it.
But
But
Mafia get involved in that one? They got something on Adam Silver, too? Shaden under 3 prop. They needed him to go 0 for 6 in order to win their prop, so they just took it off the board.
Was his over under a half 3, and they took the
Maybe there was a
one
specialty
away?
prop on he makes 0 threes and you win plus money on that?
Well,
that was just weird.
Look, his shooting splits are terrible right now. Nobody would argue that. I wouldn't argue that.
He still had 7 rebounds and 4 steals.
Well, here's the thing. Like, he's in all their best offensive point differentials, and I understand that his shooting, again, is bad. And I don't want this to turn into an every single game reaction thing, but it kind of has gone that way.
That's what we do in the NBA, yeah.
He is still, I think, taking, for the most part, the shots they want him to take.
Yeah.
Right? If he wasn't, I think Splitter would be sitting him a little more, and they're not.
Mm-hmm.
I think he's trying harder on defense, which is an important factor here. And I think he's understanding the flow of things. And also, by the way, why do we want to change the lineup?
Yeah.
You want the guy who you don't like shooting the basketball to be the first guy off the bench to shoot the basketball?
Yeah, when
Jeremy's playing really good basketball as the 6th man. There is no reason to change what is currently happening right now. And even with all of the terrible shooting, what is he averaging right now? 17? 16 and a half? He had 16 last night.
Yeah,
he can't shoot. So if he can get the shot down, that can go up a little bit, but a good night from Deni, a great night from Jrue, and a really productive night for Donovan Clingan.
Just real quick, because I want to get your thoughts too, Swag. I think the idea of Shaden Sharp that is impressing me the most, the shooting percentage from 3 is terrible. We all know it. It went down even again last night. Even from the field, yes, because he can't make a 3. But you take those away. He was 6 of 10 from the floor last night, sans 3-pointers. That's not terrible, right? The 3-point percentage is weighing him down. I love that he's finding other ways to impact the game. He had some offensive rebounds. He had 7 total rebounds. He had 4 steals. Like, he's being active in other ways, and that was always the criticism of him. I think the shooting percentage will come up, but he's finding other ways to impact the game, which I am enjoying watching right now.
Yeah, I think the biggest thing, boy, if that's the Jrue Holiday you're going to get, and that's a line from Donovan Clingan, 16 points, 14 rebounds. He was 8 of 12 from the floor. Most of it was right at the rim. 26, 27 minutes, and 2 block shots, and I don't know how many more he affected people trying to get to the rim. If I get that Donovan Clingan on a consistent basis, now you've got something.
Well, the good news is yesterday they announced Rob Will's going to go to the remix, and they're going to amp up his conditioning, so he's right around the corner from coming back, and you desperately need it because Young is a fun story. He ain't ready, dude. Like
He played a little bit more last night, but yeah, it wasn't.
You need Robert Williams, and I don't know if he'll stay healthy, but you need him as long as you can play him because we know that's not really going to be a tradable situation given the history there. Here's another part, too, because Shaden's shooting stuff is obviously a big topic for people. If this team is going to continue, and last night they didn't need offense per se from some of these guys because the Lakers were so beat up, but as you move forward, now they got the Jazz, I think, tomorrow, and as the schedule continues to ramp up, Shaden's shooting needs to start happening. There's no doubt about that. Tamani Kamara is not off to a great start either. He's averaging less points this year so far, and he's shooting 33% from 3. So, if Tamani's shot can start falling a little bit and he gets you a couple more buckets, and Shaden's shooting starts to fall, and the addition of Rob Williams to a rotation, that's a team that I think most people would probably say, if things stay their way, can hit their over and be in some play-in, playoff contention stuff. But if that stuff doesn't change and Rob Will can't stay healthy, this team is just going to be a once every 3 games win, and you lose brutally because the other team has an alpha, a number 1, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah, you get the Anthony Edwards game from opening night, where it's just
or the Clippers,
right? The Kawhi and Harden taking over in the fourth quarter. Klingon was so fun to watch last night, man. His numbers, I hope, or his minutes, I should say, I hope continue to tick up as the season goes on. That was the talk in training camp, was he's in better shape and he's looking like he's skinnier and he's not as doughy as he was last year. You're just getting him a couple of more, 26 minutes last night. He would to have 16 and 14 and 26 minutes and to Swag's point, affect as many shots as he did around the rim and then add a couple of blocks on top of it. He was awesome. And I think the other guy that's kind of now just the forgotten piece because it's a expected thing almost at this point. Like Deni Avdija has been amazing to start the year.
A great start
He has
to the
picked up
season.
right
Absolutely.
where he left off. And I think that was one of the questions was you had 2 different versions of Deni Avdija last year. The first half version and the second half version, and what are you going to get? Are you going to get a full season out of it? Because as good as he was in the back half of the year, his season-long numbers ended up being almost identical to what he did the year before in Washington.
Yep.
And it's like, yeah, he was great for 3 months, but can he be great for 6 months? And so, look, again, it is 4 games, and so we all overreact and freak out way too much when there's 78 more of these things to go.
Right.
But he was draining every open 3 that they gave him. He was taking it to the hoop. He's the driving force for their offense. He's picked up right where
those are all-star numbers, 23, 6, and 4. Those are numbers that if your team is
he's taken the step, and that's what you desperately needed coming into the year. And we didn't know who it was going to be. He was probably the prime candidate. But like in order to elevate as a franchise, you got a lot of good pieces, but you got to have one of them that takes that next jump to another tier of NBA player. And right now, he appears to be the main candidate.
I had mentioned Splitter as somebody that my buddy had told me over in Europe who watches EuroLeague, like how much they loved him as a coach and how smart he is. And look, I don't know how to gauge a lot of what's happening with front office ownership switch stuff. I'll be curious to see how this season goes as we ride out the Tiago Splitter interim coach thing. Because, look, I know Ty Lue is saying that Chauncey is confident this is all going to go away and he'll be proven innocent. I just have a hard time seeing him ever coaching the Blazers again. I think just be tied up in it is a weird thing. And if he comes back, like, what's that like? Right? So, assuming Tiago Splitter is the coach, I'll be kind of curious to see where they go and how they go. It's so tough night to night in the NBA, man. But he's a smart dude. But I understand the other side of the argument is completely switching out everything from the current regime, and Dundon's the new guy, and he wants his own guys. But
a lot of it will just have to do with how the rest of the season goes.
I hope he gets a good look, man.
Yeah, I mean, are they competitive? Does this continue? Do they go through a low swoon? Do they disappear? I just there's so many unknowns with 78 games to go that it makes it hard to answer that question. But I imagine for somebody like Dundon, if they continue to play at this level and they're showing signs of progress and getting better as the year goes on and guys are developing, he would be an idiot to not at least give him a look and an option to be the next head coach.
Well, because the last thing we want, as I jokingly say, we don't get nice things, is we don't even give this guy a shot. He moves out. Yes. We bring in somebody. That guy doesn't have quite as much success.
Right.
And Splitter gets hired by a franchise and is the Dagnall for whoever.
Yeah. The other side of that, though, is that we've made a lot of hires just internally without actually opening anything up. And it's do you just want to hand it to him without seeing what else is out there? Play the field a little bit, man.
I think what they're doing right now with Shaden's interesting. I've noticed during timeouts when Shaden is at that point 1 for 8. I just noticed that he's going up to him, talking to him. I'm curious what those conversations are like. If you ever share any of that, but it looks like a positive conversation.
Yeah,
more so shoot those shots.
You're gonna go through a slump. The biggest thing you got to do is keep shooting the ball. How about who's the bigger chucker, Caleb Love or Gary Trent Jr.?
I mean, Gary Trent got his reputation built on it. Caleb Love will approach that territory.
Dude, he came in last night and was like,
Caleb,
see ball, shoot ball.
Caleb Love time.
Every time he touched it. I don't know if he passed it. I think he shot it every time the ball hit his hands.
Do you blame him, though?
No, I don't at all. You got a chance in an NBA game? Let it fly,
10.
buddy. Just keep chucking.
2 for 10.
Keep chucking, man.
Hey, he was a +5 when he played.
That he was. The Blazers going to win 122-108. There is your Portland Trailblazer post-game show. Their next game tomorrow night in Salt Lake. Or are they back back home? In Salt Lake City?
It's in Salt Lake.
Salt Lake.
Yeah.
In Salt Lake City tomorrow night. Can we not start games at 7:30 anymore, please? Can we not do that, LA? That's crime against humanity. Lock everybody up. Where's the FBI when you need them?
Well, for the Lakers, that's consistently when they start theirs.
Yeah, I know.
I
have all the celebrities there.
I have to pick my practice times for my team coming up for the season. So I was like Monday, Wednesday, or Tuesday, Thursday. So I went and looked at the schedule. Like, what do they play more of?
Ooh, yeah, try and check.
I chose Tuesday, Thursday. Coming up in November, though, buddy, they have an 8 p.m. Peacock game coming up in November, and it is on the 18th of November against Phoenix, 8 o'clock start.
Against Phoenix? Yeah, I'll watch a quarter. I'm not staying up for that one.
That's one of those, you see the results,
you
they
give
won
me
like 20.
a decent matchup against a really good team, Phoenix? Nah, I'm not staying up till 11 p.m. to watch that game. No,
I looked up their Peacock games because they have the one in November, and then they have one in December at the end against Dallas at home.
All right, maybe we'll stick around for that one.
I might go to that game.
That's not bad, depending on what our schedule is. If we're off and some time around the holidays and you're off.
Well, our Blazer Vision gave us 2 free tickets, but you don't want them.
Nah, you go, dude. You got. I'm not itching to go to a game. I'm all right.
There's a separate segment on that I want to do with the audience of like, what game do you pick? Because there's a mystery game involved, but I'm terrified of what the mystery game will be.
Door number 3. You don't know what's behind it, or you could open door number 3. Or
you want a boat, or what's in this box?
What could be in the box? I don't know. What's in the box?